Hi, my name is Tim Keeley. Today I would like to share with you some amazing insights that I had about developing foreign language fluency. It all happened when I was dreaming in Polish in Poland about 40 years ago. These insights have really helped me developing native-like fluency in multiple languages over the years, and I'm sure you can apply them to your own language learning journey. Back in the summer of 1979, I was taking an intensive Polish course at Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznan, Poland. After about 1 month, I started dreaming in Polish. And the incredible thing is that I noticed the Polish native speakers in my dream were speaking Polish like native speakers should. And I was struggling.
So you may think, so what? They're native speakers.
Yeah, but they're my native speakers. I created them. What they were saying was not verbatim dialogue, something I heard them say during waking hours. Rather, I created the dialogues. What I was saying, what they were saying. At an academic conference once, I heard a professor say that he dreamed in Chinese, but when he woke up, he realized it had to be an illusion because he never studied Chinese. So you might think, okay, maybe I also had the impression that the Poles of my dream were speaking like native speakers, but that was just an illusion. Well, there's two reasons why I believe that's not true. And the first one is my relationship with Polish at that time. And the second one is that I'm a lucid dreamer. At that time, I was in the middle of the most intensive language immersion I had ever experienced. Also, I already had a background in Slavic languages. I had studied Serbo-Croatian, I'd been in Yugoslavia, and Russian. Actually, when I got back from my first trip to the Soviet Union in 1978, I started studying Polish also at the University of Florida for 9 months. So by the time I got to Poland, I could already converse well Polish and understood things quite well. So my passive ability was extremely high, but still there was a difference between the way I spoke and the way the native speakers spoke when awake. But in my dream, there was still that difference, but I could create a Polish native speaker. And the second thing, that I'm a lucid dreamer. So you might wonder, what is a lucid dream? Well, a lucid dream is a dream in which you're aware that you're dreaming, and you're able to actually control the dream, change the plot. The experience sometimes are very vivid in terms of smell, touch, taste, etc. Lucid dreams have been studied by scientists, and there's a lot of research in that area, so it's been confirmed. I first started lucid dreaming in Uruguay in 1976. I was sick in bed for 3 days in Montevideo, so sick I could barely move. And for many hours, I was floating in between a dream state and an awake state. And that really led to my ability to control my dreams. One thing I love is there are times in my dream I feel like I can fly, that I can defy gravity. And I really feel it. I feel it to the point that I wonder, okay, when I wake up, will I be able to do the same thing? These are the questions I asked myself at that time. So when I was dreaming in Polish at that time, I went back into the dream to confirm whether or not they were speaking like native speakers, and there was a difference in the way I was speaking. And yeah, for sure, this is something I've experienced many times since then, not just in Polish. So what did I learn from this lucid dream? Well, think about it. In my dream, I can create a native Polish speaker. So when I'm awake, why can't I speak exactly like they do? Well, it has to do with identity. It has to do with self-limiting beliefs. It's important to be able to create a vision, an image of yourself as a competent, legitimate native speaker of the language. Most of my life I live in Japan, and Japanese is the language I speak most of the time. And I notice that when I do speak Japanese, my body language changes a lot too. For example, if I'm in a meeting and I disagree with somebody, before I'm going to say something, I'm going to sort of make a sound like that to show that I'm hesitating to disagree with them. The way that I present something is going to imitate the body language and expressions that Japanese use, because it makes things go smoother in the conversation and the interaction. You need to become more aware of your identity, your linguistic and cultural identity, when you're learning and using a foreign language. If you have emotions which hold you back from imitating the way others speak, maybe you don't want to imitate a native speaker, but if you do, your communication will be much better, it'll be much smoother, and you'll naturally be able to use the grammar, the expression much easier. Okay, so you might be wondering, how can I increase the possibility of streaming the language I'm studying? Well, there are a number of techniques. One is the immersion techniques. Immerse yourself in that language during the day, speaking,
मेरा जीवन जिंदगी जीवन ओ तेरे ग्राम में जीवन हो
reading, writing, watching movies, etc., especially before you go to bed. The next one is visualization. Visualize yourself dreaming in that language. Of course, you're awake, you're not in the dream, but visualize yourself in the dream and create a scene where you're speaking the language and the people around you are speaking the language. Another technique is repetition, repeating some phrases in that language right before you go to bed. And then finally, there's audio cues. You can listen to the language as you fall asleep and while you're sleeping. Now, I don't believe that you can actually study a language while you're sleeping. You can play a tape all night and you wake up speaking fluently. No. But I've noticed that when I leave on TV or something in a foreign language, often I'll dream in that foreign language. I can hear it when I slightly wake up. Oh, I realize, okay, the TV or whatever is on in that language. And then I go back in the dream and I'm still dreaming in that language. For me, that one really works. So keep in mind, we have much greater potential than we realize to speak like a native speaker in our target languages. And it all has to do with identity, our linguistic and cultural identity. Of course, we need to do all the studies, put all that effort into learning. But in the end, what about our accent? What about our fluency? Well, we won't reach that native-like speech if we don't deal with the issues of linguistic and cultural identity and the emotions associated with it. If you'd like to know more about this subject, there are many sources, but I myself have done a lot of research and written papers on this, and also in my blogs. So if you're interested in finding out more, I've written about what Lucid Dreams has revealed to me about foreign language fluency, and blogs about identity and foreign language acquisition, and the links are given below. Thank you for listening.